Well, it's official. Time flies when you're having fun, and it's really hard to believe that as of next week, we have officially hit the halfway point of the 2025-2026 NFL season. I'm sure all the injured players would disagree and say the season is plenty long enough, but for us rabid fans, it always seems like it passes by all too quickly, doesn't it?
Way too quickly, and the off season is way too long. But let's be honest, time just drags by when you're not having fun. And I'm sure there's some fans out there just counting down the days until the draft day, basically comes around again. Looking at you there, Jets fans.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. The offseason feels even longer when your team is winless to this point.
Mhm.
Trust me, I've been there. But one thing that is kind of exciting about hitting the midway point next week is that we get to do our midseason Bravo soon. And oh lie, dude, some of my predictions are looking pretty good right now. So I can't wait for a couple weeks from now when I can just show you.
Yeah, Bravos will be in 2 weeks, which will be exciting. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We always enjoy doing that. It'll be the third annual Bravo Awards, so can't wait for that. But yeah, congrats, dude. Oh my God, wow, you got some predictions right. Blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, my guy.
Oh, wow. That's how it's going to be today.
Oh yeah.
Well, then, if that's how it's going to be, well, then, if you're just half as good at picking things as I am, maybe we could finally bring these good Bravonians some good content once in a while.
I'm not going to disagree with you. My picking has been suspect ever since I picked a co-host for this podcast. So,
All right. Well, I'm fucking sick of you already. So let's just give the people what they came here for. This is episode 8 of the NFLA. And what better way to kick it off than the same way we usually do? Let's recap the games of the week of week 7. And like we prefaced last week, the kind of week before, we're really trying to narrow down to the nitty-gritty, right? The games that really made an impact in the not even the standings, but just storylines and maybe just the best games of the week. Some of these games were just fluff games. Teams got pounded. We won't name names, but I'm sure if you're a fan of that team, you already know. And dude, why don't we start with the Thursday Nighter, also known as the Unk Bowl,
yeah, which was basically the game of the week. Who would
right?
have thought?
Who would have thought?
Joe Flacco comes in and just dices up that Pittsburgh defense, and Cincinnati, with what I guess this is their third quarterback that they've started this year, they finally get back in the win column, dude.
Yep.
This is actually a great game.
Yeah, it was back and forth, and man, both these veteran QBs can still sling it, right? Both hit over 300 yards in pretty like a high tempo duel. And yeah, there were some turnovers, but I think that's just what added to the excitement of this game. And yeah, who would have thought that these two old bastards still got it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're old as hell, so they neither of them can run the hurry up offense. They can't breathe.
No.
Yeah, but the Unk Bowl, I like that. And yeah, I mean, I saw this one meme and it was perfect. It was Joe Flacco sitting on the bench next to Jake Browning, and it was this game's easy. All you got to do is throw it to number one. Basically, just kind of hinted at
Right?
just throw the ball to Jamar Chase every time, and
Felt
you're
like
gonna.
he got targeted like 50 times that game.
I
Do
think
you
it was
see?
like 23 targets,
I know
16
I'm
catches.
obviously being dramatic here, but do you
Yeah,
see the look on his face on the one that he actually dropped? That he's like, "Are you kidding me? You
yeah,
dropped that one of all the ones I've thrown
exactly,
you today?"
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it before. Having that one elite receiver can make all the difference in the world sometimes, right? So who needs all
Honestly.
this plethora of weapons? Cincy, you messed up. You paid all your offense and didn't pay anything for defense. And it unfortunately took 33 points for you to squeak one out in this one. But hey, it's kind of interesting because I mean, not that I still think that the Bengals are that great, but they're hanging around, especially in that division. And if they can just hang on long enough and just tread that water till Burrow gets back, you never know what can happen.
Well, Burrow's not back till mid-December, so they still have like 2 months to try and
Yeah.
tread water, and it might be dicey, but yeah, you never know. That division is Cincinnati now has the tiebreak on Pittsburgh, so I mean, if
Yeah.
it gets down to it towards the end of the year, it's not a tough division. We thought it was going to be, and it's not. So
Yeah, could get spicy.
yeah,
My favorite quote by Flacco of the week, though, is he's talking about, you know, seeing a guy eating by himself at the restaurant and how he thought, I'm so sad for this guy. And I'll tell you, that guy's living the dream. He said he tried it and he loved every second of it. And speaking from experience, most because I don't have many friends, I've been out to eat by myself lots of times, and it is quite peaceful, to be
it's
honest.
lovely
Who wants
actually.
to sit there and have chit chat while you eat?
I fucking hate having to make small talk all the time.
Sure.
It's great.
I mean, I think that's why dudes get along so well, right? It's like we could just sit in a circle and name sports players' names for hours and everyone's content.
Dude, you and I have literally sat on the couch for like 4 hours just talking about old old athletes, old sports names. Just talk. You just have to say the name and be like, "Oh shit!" Like
Yeah.
it's
I don't think I actually know anything personal about you. I
no.
just know your favorite sports teams and,
That's exactly. That's
and
all we
everything
need to know.
else.
It's the
Yeah.
important stuff, right?
Who cares about anything else?
Exactly.
Well, why don't we move on a little bit? Speaking about not caring about something, the Philadelphia Eagles
You
beat the
fucker.
Minnesota Vikings. This game couldn't be worse on my list of games to watch this week.
I'm gonna derail this podcast for 1 second because go Birds times two. You know I'm a rabid fucking Eagles fan, but I'm also a Blue Jays fan. And how about the
Woo!
Toronto fucking Blue Jays? Can we talk for a second about the Toronto Blue
Yep.
Jays in the World Series starting tomorrow night, game one against the Dodgers? I'm fucking pumped. I know you are.
Oh yeah, the
Toronto
only
Blue Jays,
birds we're
baby.
talking about. Let's go.
Let's
We're just gonna skip over the Philly game. We're just gonna talk about the Blue Jays for the next 5 minutes, everyone.
we should just talk fuck do a whole episode talking about I mean, it's been the first Mariners have never made it, so whatever. That would have been more of a story for their fans, obviously. But the
Yep.
Jays, it's been a hot minute since the Jays been in the World Series as well. 1993, so what, 32 years,
Yep.
if my math serves. We were kids, man. Like we didn't really get to follow it then. We didn't really get to we didn't know the gravity of the situation. You don't know when you're 7 or 8 years old that the World Series, how big it is, how important it is, and how fucking rare it is, and you might never see your team there again.
Right.
So we're gonna fucking enjoy the ride here, buddy. And win or lose, like the Blue Jays were not expected to be here this year. So I'm loving it. This is fun as hell. Let's go,
There we
Jays.
go. Let's go, Blue Jays.
What do you
Yeah,
got
I
to say?
was 8 years old. I'll never forget being in my grandparents' living room, the
Yeah,
whole family there watching hit Joe Carter hit that home run, and that living room erupted. So,
right.
hey, it's great. Good,
Well, George
glad I can
Springer's
finally appreciate a visit this time, and hopefully, same result.
that's it. And George Springer's home run, pretty iconic as well. That one's you're gonna be seeing replay. Well, Jays fans will be seeing replays of that for probably decades at this point. Almost as important as a Joe Carter World Series winning home run. However, uh, ALCS clinching home run is almost as good. So
Well, dude, we were at the bat flip game, and I still get chills every time I watch that. I've probably watched the Springer home run about 900 times,
yeah,
and every time, goosebumps. Every time.
honestly, yeah.
That'll never go away. So,
Yeah, one of my core memories for sure being at that Jose Bautista bat flip game in 2015 with you, man. That was
hell
great.
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. All
Anyway,
right.
should we get back to football?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's talk
Like,
Philly. Let's talk elite quarterbacks because we just finished talking about a couple of old ass elite ones. Let's talk about a young elite one. First perfect passer rating of the season, Jalen Hurts, 158.3, perfect passer rating as the Eagles win 28-22 in Minnesota. Love that. Eagles kind of reclaim that power atop the NFC.
That you wanted to talk about elite quarterbacks, not just a flash in the pan performance.
Who's the only quarterback in the league this year with a perfect passer rating in a game, though, my guy?
Oh, so you do it one time, that just
Jalen.
makes you great.
He's been
So
great
many
all
more
year.
consistent performances, and yet this guy's not even in talks for the MVP.
He's thrown one pick this year. He should be in talks, but his passing yards aren't there. So of course they got to
Yeah,
give it to the stats.
that's because he's a running back.
They got to give it to the show horses.
Sure. Well, this game was mildly entertaining. I mean, Carson Wentz was a bit of a goof in this one, chucking up prayers at left, right, and center, which probably didn't have to happen, which would have made this game even closer than it was. I mean, Philly, I think, did well to escape. I think you would agree, maybe in this one, kind of the similar things that we've been seeing. And I mean, it took a heroic effort from Hertz to kind of pull this one off, right?
I mean, they almost kind of give up the lead there, but I mean, I trust this defense and Vic Fangio. I wasn't really worried. Like it kind of gets to a point where you see how the offense is operating, and you're like, okay, well, even if Minnesota goes down and scores, I trust the offense this game, and they were moving it. Jalen Hurts threw it over 300 yards for the first time this year. Like, dude was slinging it. And the only thing I'm really concerned about at this point is our run game. Like Saquon Barkley has done nothing this year. The O
Mhm.
line has been trash. Normally we've got the one of the best O lines in the league, and they're not opening any holes for him this year. I don't think he's gone over 100 yards. Most games he's not even going over 50 yards rushing. So I don't know what the
Mhm.
fuck's going on with our run game. Saquon Barkley, it feels like kind of like a wasted talent back there right now. So
I'd kind of agree with you on that. And it's
yeah,
kind of perplexing too, like to see the year that he had last year with
yeah,
essentially the exact same offensive line. Nothing's really changed except for the offensive coordinator.
hmm
But you think you'd still kind of rely on the things that made you successful the year before. And, when we're seeing these like halves from Philly where they can't put up multiple scores or they're trailing and then have to make this epic comeback to win any games. It's kind of weird that you're not using your essentially your best player, right? And I think it's one of these things that you look at and maybe the Madden curse is real. Have
I
you
mean,
seen that
yeah.
that meme going around? He's like Fat Eddie Lacy now that he was on the Madden cover.
Yeah. But in all honesty, though, like I don't even think it's that like they're not using him. He's still getting 18, 20 touches a game. There's nothing for him. Like he
Mhm.
can't get there's no holes for him. He can't get any separation. He's running for like 2.5 yards a carry. It's really the O line that's playing like shit for in the run game. And I mean, he's a great running back, but what do you want him to do? Like you can't
Yeah.
you can't juke 11 guys. So
Well, I think Lane Johnson said it best, right? When he said, if we're too predictable,
yeah,
it's easy to do, right? And I think you guys kind of needed a game like this from Jalen to be able to open up that run game because they're like, well, screw it. Like you can't even throw it down the field on us. Why are we gonna not stack the box and,
yeah.
and cause trouble for Saquon, right?
It's
So
kind of getting to that point now where it's like we're 7 games into the year, the run game's done nothing. Because when you look at last year and what Saquon did and what our run game did, what our offensive line did, defenses are going to key in on that, right? So
yeah,
we're going to be facing stacked boxes. We're going to be facing all kinds of blitzes. Um, so that's essentially what teams are saying is, okay, well, we know what Saquon Barkley can do. We're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us, and he's doing that. He's starting to really do that. And so I think at this point, if we see a couple more games like this out of Jalen, I really do think the run game will start to open up again because defenses are going to be like, well, Jalen can beat us, so we better protect against the pass as well,
yeah.
right? So.
Well,
So hang in there, Saquon.
I mean, the good news is that, you guys are still winning games. So,
Yeah,
even if it's not quite clicking yet, all you got to do is win and get in, right? And anything can
that's it.
happen. And um,
We're 5-2, and we haven't really started clicking and played a full game yet. So once we do, yeah, I'm not super worried, but
yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Anything else you want to add about that game?
No, I think that's good. I
Yeah,
think that's
nothing
good.
else caught your eye. Did it feel good to beat Carson Wentz? Or
You know what? I love Carson Wentz. I always will. There's always going to be a special place in my heart for him from that Super Bowl season. So
that he did nothing to contribute to?
he
Awesome.
did everything to contribute. Talking about
But
no
he
Super
didn't
Bowl
win the
that year with
important
no
ones.
Super Bowl that year without Carson Wentz. I promise you that.
Fair enough. Well, you thought the Unk Bowl was the game of the week. This is the game that I thought was the game of the week. That was the Denver Broncos versus the New York Giants. And man, those pesky Giants are just finding ways to stay in every game, giving some of these like top tier teams in the league some fits, right? Obviously, we talked about it before. They beat the Eagles a couple weeks ago. Probably should have won last week too, and then or 2 weeks ago, and then this week hanging on to that lead well into the fourth quarter. And then, like that shopping cart that has three great wheels and one shitty one, it just fell apart. And oh, you feel so bad for the Giants and Jackson Dart. Pretty good game. He was shining, looked good running, throwing the ball. Scatterboo had another great game. But the Broncos, man, stormed back in the fourth quarter. This was disgusting.
So I can't get on board with saying this was the game of the week because it wasn't the game of the week, but the fourth quarter was the fourth quarter of the week for sure. Like
Fourth
this
for
was a
sure.
1 quarter game. That's it.
Fair enough.
Like
Fair enough.
it was 19-0 for the Giants coming into the fourth quarter. The Broncos put up 33 points in the fourth alone. And the
Wasn't it
Giants
like
still
eight
scored the
minutes
fourth.
left or something?
Yeah, like the Giants were still scoring in the fourth quarter too. They put up their most amount of points in the fourth as well. So there's 46 total points scored in the fourth quarter, 33 by the Broncos, 13 by the Giants. Uh, yeah, I don't know what else you want to say, but like this game was
Multiple lead changes in the fourth quarter.
like 3 lead changes in the last 2 minutes or something like that. It was crazy,
Was this
wild.
Chiefs Bills? Because
Essentially, that's the wildest finish I've seen all year. These are the two teams that have beat Philly this year, so it was kind of
right,
interesting to see how this one was going to play out. The Eagles have 2 losses, and it's to these two teams. But yeah, this
right.
fourth quarter is one for the ages for sure. Bo Nix, what a performance, man.
Absolutely. And he started slow, right? There was a lot of talks like what's going on with Bo Nix? Was it
Yeah,
just is this going to be a regression year? And he's just slowly just picking it back up where he left off. And hey, like again, the time you want to be hot isn't at the start of the year. It's good to pile up your wins, but you want to be hot at the end of the year.
Yeah,
That's the only time it matters. So
for sure.
get it figured out and then go.
For sure. And you want to talk about who's clicking now and probably will still be by the end of the year. How about the Indianapolis Colts, dude? They're 6-1. Now
Wagon.
they go into LA. They beat the Chargers by 2 scores. This offense, man, they exploded again. 5 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. I don't know what's going on, but Daniel Jones is possibly in the MVP conversation. Said no one ever until this
Right?
year.
Would you say this is our Colts? This is our
I would say
team?
this is our team.
Well, one thing is for sure, we both bleed blue.
Yeah,
But man, yeah, this
not
is
Colts blue, but yeah.
not Colts blue. Yuck. But yeah, the Colts versus the Chargers, and this was another kind of game that I wanted to keep an eye on because two AFC teams going at it. Both teams have pretty high aspirations this year. Chargers have had a couple down weeks in there, and they're slowly rebuilding again,
Yeah.
back that momentum. But man, that Colts offense just feels like it can't be stopped as long as they give the ball to Jonathan Taylor.
Well, and they're fortunate right now, and I think usually the best teams by the end of the year are the healthiest, and the Colts aren't really facing a ton of injury issues, whereas the
Yeah,
Chargers kind of are, where they've
yeah,
lost the running back Omarion Hampton for at least most of the year.
yeah. Najee.
Najee's gone, and now they've got a ton of injuries on defense as well.
Yeah,
They're just kind of banged up right now, and I mean, say what you want and do what you want as a team with Justin Herbert. You can only do so much with the weapons you have available to you, and the coaching can only do so much with the bodies that they have on the field. And the defense is hurting right now. So the Chargers fall to 4-3. I think they're still a good team. I still think they'll win the
oh yeah.
division, but they just gotta get healthy, man. Whew.
Well, I don't know if they'll win the division, but I think they'll definitely be in the playoff mix again. But I
Yeah,
think the big difference as to why the Colts are doing so well is they're just playing clean football. Like they're not turning the ball over, they're scoring at will.
yeah,
And I mean, what was it like the first 3 games? They didn't even punt. Like that's
yeah,
huge. So I mean, if they can keep that train rolling, and one thing I've heard is that just Daniel Jones isn't playing scared anymore. He
yeah.
knows the offense. He's running it. And man, he looks great. Like you said, it sounds so weird to hear him in like an MVP conversation. I don't know if he's still quite there yet, but he's definitely in that bounce back player of the year or comeback player of the year award for sure.
Yeah. Well,
So
and you see that out of these quarterbacks that, everyone kind of writes off as, oh, well, he's done. Like he's a bust. He's terrible. Can't believe they're paying him what they're paying him. How does he even have a starting job? And then you go to a team with a competent offensive line and better coaching
mhm,
and just the pieces in place, some weapons to throw to. Like Daniel Jones was fighting for his life most games behind that Giants offensive line. Didn't
mhm,
have a ton of offense. Sorry, didn't have a ton of offensive weapons to work with. Now he goes to the Colts. He's got all of that. So I think you're
yeah,
seeing probably what he could have been on the Giants had he been in the right situation, right? So
right. I mean, I think people forget too. Like he did take them to the playoffs 1 year and even won a playoff game against the Vikings, right?
that's
So,
right.
like he has it in him. It just
Yeah.
again, like how many times can you be told you're shit or like not good enough before it starts to kind of weigh on you and a change of scenery does you good. So,
Well, look at Baker Mayfield. Like everyone wrote him off as done. They thought he was a bust when he was in Cleveland.
yeah, and that's
Now
my
he's
top pick
now
for
he's in the
MVP right now.
MVP conversation right now as a quarterback of the Bucks. So yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's the right situation just changes everything for you.
All right. Well, could you argue that Dak Prescott might be in the running for MVP? This team
Fucking
has no
kills
defense,
me to say it, but yeah.
no defense, and yet they pile up 44 points
Yeah.
on Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Now, Daniels did go down in this one, about halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through with a hamstring injury. But by that point, like the game was kind of out of reach a bit, I would say, anyways. But man, like 400 plus yards through the air,
Yeah.
the Commanders secondary got torched for. So, man, Dak's slinging it. CD's back now. George Pickens has looked great. And somehow we're seeing the revival of Javante Williams,
Javante
too.
Williams is going off. Like this,
And
it's a top three offense in the league right now. And I hate
absolutely,
it.
not to mention they got Jake Ferguson, who's just an animal right now,
Yeah.
catching everything. I think he's got like 6 or 7 touchdowns to this point.
Yeah.
Like the dude's just gross. So,
Dak's
man, that
always liked his
Dallas,
tight ends for sure. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, Dak likes tight end for
Yeah, he
sure.
does. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Well, one thing that does suck though for Washington is that we've talked multiple times that it's a momentum league, and Jane Daniels goes down, and now they've got a massive pivotal game against the Chiefs coming up. So you don't want to start losing too many in a row while people get healthy. So
Jaden Daniels down again. He already missed a game. Was it one game or two earlier in the year near the start?
see, that's
I
what I
think he
was
missed two.
debating.
I think
I
he
think
missed
he missed
two,
two.
and Marcus Mariota filled in. Oh yeah, it was two because
Oh yeah, it
Mariota
was.
won
Yeah.
one and lost one. Now Mariota gets another start here with in week 8 with Daniels out again. So I guess we'll see
Yeah.
what Washington's made of, but they're definitely fighting it this year compared to last year.
Absolutely. So yeah, Dallas gets a massive win,
Yeah.
44-22 over the Commanders. Not to mention, not a win, but also a divisional win too, which anytime you can get one of those is a big help. But who couldn't give me any help for a divisional opponent was the Arizona Cardinals. Second week in a row without Kyler. Jacoby Brissett just didn't really have it as much as he did the last week, but
No.
they hung around. Arizona loses 27-23 against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
Ugh.
we kind of knew what the outcome of this game was going to be.
Hmm.
It was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be, especially with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. But I think there's some key moments in that game where he would make a bad throw or a bad decision, and you're like, okay, well that's why Jacoby Brissett, sorry, is a backup quarterback in this league and not a starter, right? But yeah, Arizona struggling this year. I really thought that they were going to take that next step this year. It doesn't look like they're quite there yet.
Arizona gonna Arizona.
Yeah.
Mirrored in mediocrity.
Yeah, yeah. Green Bay goes to what, 4-1-1, so
Yeah.
still on
Yeah.
top of that division.
You know what other team I just feel is just doomed for mediocrity? It's the Atlanta Falcons. And I know you're super high on them this year, but
Yeah,
man, they got one spike game, couple shit games, another spike game, another shit
I
game,
knew
and
that
yet
this thing was
again,
going to be down. It's up and down every week, so don't
I know.
worry. This week coming up, they're going to be fine. They're going to be
Are
like
they?
they'll
Yeah.
score 50 points and it'll be fine.
Sure. Aren't they on by? I don't even know. But
Oh, they could
anyways,
be. They're still going to score 50.
yeah, sure. Well, the Falcons played the San Fran 49ers, who are somewhat of a wagon right now, apparently, with Mac Jones.
Yeah,
San Fran wins 20-10. The story was the 49ers defense in this one, though. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, and man, it just like you said, how do they go from like beating the snot out of Buffalo, Bijan and London go off,
yeah.
and then it's like they've just completely disappeared the very next game.
Atlanta's the most Jekyll and Hyde team in the league this year, and I fucking love it. It's amazing to tune in and not know what Atlanta team is going to show up any given week. So it's kind of a fun ride. Like
Is that part of
because
the
I don't
lure for
actually
them?
care. Well, because I don't actually care how they do. I don't care when they lose. It's just fun to follow what's going like happening there.
Sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess that's fair. And I
Yeah.
mean, when you look at it, though, San Fran's probably like the most banged up team on defense.
Yeah.
And you can't score more than 10 points against them, and you get dominated by them at the same time. So,
Well,
I mean,
that's the
obviously,
Atlanta office sometimes. Didn't they get shut out a few weeks ago by Carolina or
yep,
something? So it's like,
big
yeah,
old zero burger in
yeah,
there. So, yeah, I don't know. They're a frustrating team. I,
yeah,
I
they are.
wouldn't want, if you're a fan of them, I feel sorry for you. And if you are a fan of them, drop us a comment below and just this is a safe space. Just
Yeah.
tell us how you feel.
What are your thoughts on your Dirty Birds? Yeah.
I come to think about it, I don't even know if I know one Atlanta Falcon fan.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, you know what? I actually grew up with one. My friend Robbie. I should see what he's up to these days.
Oh yeah,
He was a
probably
huge Mike.
crying in the corner.
He was a huge Mike Vick fan. So
Oh, oh.
yeah, fuck that. Fuck that.
Take off, Robbie.
You know what? Vic served his time. I was a huge fan of Vic when he was an Eagle. He was fucking electric to watch. You have to admit, he
Oh,
was
he
fucking
was.
electric. Yeah. So
But unfortunately, when you're a piece of shit, kind of outweighs a lot of
yeah,
things.
especially towards animals, I find it
Yeah.
hard to redeem yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you're a piece of shit to another human. Who
Yeah, me
cares?
neither. Yeah, exactly.
Don't you
Yeah,
dare do that to a dog.
exactly.
How dare you, Michael Vick?
How dare you, Mike? Get at us, Mike Vick. Leave us a comment. Tell us why you did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Tagged.
It'd be so great. I'm tagging him
Fuck.
when we post this.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I do what I want, is what he's gonna say. But speaking
Anyway,
of maulings, I guess the Detroit Lions host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And man, we've talked endlessly about how great we think Baker is this year. There's a lot of controversy out there that the refs, blah, 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 didn't do the Buccaneers any favor. Well, welcome to the fucking game here. Nobody gets screwed by the refs more than Detroit Lions. So I don't feel bad for any of you. But I think it is for the more than average fan, if they watch this game, they would know that the defense of the Detroit Lions actually put on quite a bit of a show in
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I felt like they had really great blanketed coverage for having basically all replacements in the secondary, guys that you've never even heard of before, stepping up and making huge plays. Rock Ya-Sin was amazing in this game. And then, not to mention, our linebackers stepped up. Derek Barnes had a key sack. Same with Jack Campbell. And yeah, they had the Bucks on the run all game long.
Well, I've kind of changed my mind. I know last week I said the Bucks were the best team in the league. They ran into they ran into a
Are you
fucking
gonna say
juggernaut.
it? Are you gonna say it? Say it. Say it.
I think the Detroit Lions might be the best team in the league right now.
Woo!
Ugh.
Well, they're number one on the power rankings this week,
Can
and
you finish up this episode? I gotta go have a shower.
yeah, you feel a little filthy right now, bud.
Ugh.
Well, it takes a big man to admit that. So thank
Fucking
you. But
offense, defense, special teams. Detroit gets after it, man. And I mean, you could argue that they've been one of the best teams in the league for years now, if not the best, and just haven't been able to get it done in the playoffs. But
you
yeah,
know what's disgusting though? Gibbs put over 200 all-purpose yards,
yep.
and somehow McCaffrey was still the higher scoring running back of the week.
What? How?
I don't know. I don't know how either, but
46 yards and 4 touchdowns?
yeah, I guess. Yeah. But man, Jameer Gibbs, man, just unreal to watch him. Like corking off these big runs. What if you even had another touchdown if Penei Sewell just learned how to block for a second there?
Yeah.
But
Forgot his job. Yeah.
yeah, I forgot his job. Did you see the Spider-Man Superman celly with
I
Gibbs
did.
and St. Brown?
I did. Yeah, it was
Pretty
wicked.
nice too.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah, the offense kept rolling. I was kind of worried about this game because like we've been talking about, Buccaneers have played some really great football. Evans was coming back this week, which unfortunately for him
Yeah.
broke his clavicle on a downfield play, diving
Yeah.
for the ball, got landed on top of, which that was a big controversial play there. Everyone said it was pass interference, but he's literally landing on him right as the ball's getting there. Great coverage. Obviously, you never want to see a player of his talent get hurt, or any player for that matter, but you feel bad for him because now he's going to be out for multiple months and his streak of getting 1,000 yards is seriously in jeopardy. It's probably not happening.
And it's not happening at this point. Yeah.
So you feel bad for him for it to end like
Yeah.
that with injuries and not
Yeah.
just, not getting the opportunity. And then, of course, they got Ibuka back, game time decision. I was like, oh, here we go. We have no secondary, and they just got Evans and Ibuka in the
Yeah.
game, and we're going to get torched.
Yeah.
But,
Not so much.
it's weird, though. Like I said, this team hasn't lost two in a row in forever. So
Yeah.
I guess the only time it's happened was we lost to the Commanders in the playoffs, and we lost week 1 to Green Bay.
That's right. Yeah.
Other than that, it hasn't really happened.
But across 2 seasons, I don't know if you really
Right.
count that,
Yeah,
but
if that count,
yeah.
no momentum.
That's too bad. What is it? I think it's 11 seasons in a row to start his career for Mike Evans with at least 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Every single year, the most consistent wide receiver in the league for over a decade. He will not catch 1,000 yards this year. But I mean, I think you're going to start seeing the Bucks kind of taper off a little bit too. That like they're probably getting hit the hardest in the league out of any team with the injury bug right now, and I think it's going to start catching up to them. Unfortunately,
it might. But again, I
in the
think
win column.
if they can keep it going, that just adds testament to Baker being the MVP, right?
Oh yeah, if they get anywhere near the playoffs with Baker, just with a ragtag group of basically like practice squad guys, you have to give him the MVP.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, in my eyes, pretty great game. If you're a Bucks fan, probably not so much, but
Yeah.
I would say there's probably only one other game of the week to talk about. Like I said, we're going to leave a bunch out because they were just drubbings, but another Monday night game.
Yes, sir.
Late game at 10 p.m., keeping us up till 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, no big deal.
Seattle Seahawks versus the Houston Texans. And man, another team that's just frustrating as hell to watch this year is the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Starting to talk about it, man. Is CJ back?
Yeah.
The offense looks good again. And then, I mean, we know Seattle has a pretty good defense, but man, like they just looked awful. Like CJ was running for his life. He had no time to do anything. And I don't know if this all falls on CJ. Like guys weren't catching the ball either. The O-line gave him no help. But now CJ is kind of getting called out by D'Amico Ryan saying he needs to run the offense better. So like
Okay.
which one is it? Like you got 2 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it last week. He was on a fucking heater. He had a couple games in a row where Houston was demolishing their opponents, but we said Seattle's going to be a test. We knew
Yeah.
coming in, this is not going to be a walk in the park for CJ like the last couple weeks had been. And we were right. Seattle showed up and they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this was the JSN show in this one, man. Smith Najigba just continuing to ascend the ranks of wide receivers this year.
Yeah.
Seems like every week he's got like 7 or 8 catches, going over 100 yards, throwing a touchdown in there, even posterized a ref in the end zone, dunking on the on the flagpole.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's
Man, that
just one of
NFC
those
West
things.
is wild though, dude. Niners,
Crazy.
Seahawks, and Rams are all 5-2. It's
I know.
crazy. Yeah.
It's nuts. And I think like if you look at just across the whole NFC as a whole, like there's so many teams that are just right there.
Yeah.
And if you have 2 or 3 bad weeks in a row, you're going to be out of it really quickly. So I was just thinking about this earlier with so many teams being in the mix. Do you think that's going to make for a more active trade deadline this year? Or do you think we're going to see a lot of teams standing pat because you just don't know like where you're going to be in 2 to 3 weeks?
Well, that's just it. Like I'm looking at the standings and I see like six teams in the NFC alone that are like 5-2 or 4-1. Green Bay
Right.
4-1 because of the tie, but like
Yeah.
there are a lot of teams fighting for that, the top there. So I think there's going to be a lot of buyers. I can see this being a pretty active trade deadline because there's not a whole lot of separation, especially I'm looking at just the NFC right now. I don't see a ton in the AFC aside from like the one division, the Patriots and Bills 4-2, and then obviously Dolphins and Jets. So like there's a
Yeah.
huge discrepancy there. But like for the most part, a lot of the divisions are pretty tight. So I can see the teams near the top of the divisions wanting to try and distance themselves a little bit more from those the teams that are just underneath them, right? So I think it could be pretty active. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for those that are unaware, the trade deadline is coming up in 2 weeks. It's November 4th. And I kind of feel like it's really early in football, right? Like we hit that week 10 mark and you still got 8 games to play and like you got to make your moves by then. And like a lot can happen in 8 games as we've already witnessed. Like
Yeah.
look how many teams have already flip-flopped, started off hot, now they're crap or, just have no hope, right? But yeah, I think we're going to see some of these teams that are completely out of it, maybe like the Jets, the Titans, they're probably going to move on from some of these expiring contracts or aging players because what's the point?
Yeah.
I know for Detroit, like we could use another pass rusher, maybe another corner. Like that's really the only areas that we really need some help in. I don't know. What do you think for Philly?
Philly needs a pass rusher, and Philly needs another cornerback. We got
Yeah.
Quinyon Mitchell as our corner, locking down to wide receiver ones, but we don't
Yep.
have anyone on the other side of the field. So a lot of teams, second and third receivers are facing. We've got ass back there in our secondary right now. Adoree Jackson is just not cutting it. And we've
Right.
had a couple other guys back there. Jacorian Bennett, he's injured now, but he'll be back soon. And like just some guys that aren't cutting it. And now we're kind of seeing the mistake, that we made letting guys like Isaiah Rogers go, and he's lighting
Hmm.
it up for Minnesota this year. And guys like Slay, he aging for sure, but
Yep.
can still kind of get the job done when you need him to. And we just don't. We're hurting on defense for sure.
Right.
But I look at teams like when I start thinking about the trade deadline, I start wondering what teams like the Cincinnati Bengals are going to do. They're 3-4, but they're only a game and a half back of the division because Pittsburgh is, mediocre at best. We know that they're never going to run away with that division. So it's like, what do they do? Do they try and buy at the deadline to, because they know they're getting Joe Burrow back at some point? Or, even like Jacksonville, who's kind of fallen to 4-3, they look really good at times, and then they like, what do they do? Right. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah. 2 weeks away, man.
Time to get a little bold if you're some of these GMs, right?
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
worry about the picks. Go for it.
we're hockey fans as well, and usually the NHL trade deadline there's a flurry of activity, right? But with football, the trade deadline there usually isn't. There's like
No.
4 or 5 little minor deals throughout the day. But
Yeah.
man, I think it could be eventful this year for sure.
It's usually around this time that we start to see the big deals happen, right? If they're going to
Yep,
happen, nobody wants to really wait until the last minute
till
to
the
do it.
last day.
So
Yeah, exactly.
perfect. Well, why don't you say we move on a little bit and we kind of talked about Mike Evans getting hurt, Jane Daniels getting hurt. I'd say really the only major storyline of the week was Vrabel's return to Tennessee and destroyed the Titans, which I mean I think a lot of us saw coming. I picked the Pats, and
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of other people did too. But man, the Pats are on the rise, and I think I'm going to use this as a little segue into our next segment here of who would have thought, and who would have thought that the Patriots would be leading the AFC East.
Not me.
And it speaks a lot to the coaching that they're getting out of Vrabel.
Yeah.
They finally have a competent coach back there again since Bill. He's built a good coaching staff around him, and the players are buying in. It's
We
insane.
we knew the Patriots had a solid defense, and when you
Hmm.
bring a guy like Vrabel in to coach him, you know the work ethic's going to be there. But
For
that
sure.
offense is really exploding this year now. And
Absolutely.
we're seeing that next step being taken by Drake May, that progression of here's a solid quarterback that could look like a but like you look at Mac Jones back when he played for the Pats. The
Hmm.
Pats were dog shit, and
Yep.
everyone thought Mac Jones was dog shit too. But you put Mac Jones on the 49ers where the situation is a little bit better for him, and you see what he's doing. Same going for Drake May. Now that offensive line in New England is built up a little bit, and he's got a couple weapons to throw to, Stephon Diggs is a great addition to that team. And
Yep.
yeah, New England 5-2, and a lot of credit has to go to Vrabel for sure. No one would have thought that they'd be ahead of Buffalo in the division at this point in the year.
When I think the quiet deadly weapon in that offense is Hunter Henry. Like he's one of
Yeah,
Drake May's favorite targets, and man, that guy's just lighting it up week after week, but
it's
and very
unreal.
quietly. But could you imagine if they actually go out and get like a number one receiver? Like, yeah, Diggs is good, but like he's not quite that guy anymore, right? Like
No,
still
probably not.
productive by all means. Like not
Yeah,
going to throw him on. Like he's doing quite well. But if they could actually go out and land that number one receiver,
yeah,
dangerous.
for sure. Yeah.
So that's my first. Who would have thought? It was definitely the Patriots. I guess I got another one that we can talk about here. Who would have thought that the Ravens, the Baltimores, would be 1-5 to start the year?
Yeah, not nobody. Again, this is another one that's like this is a weird year. I saw something recently. It was like a guy wakes up from a coma and he starts asking about all these teams that are normally bottom feeders, and they're all leading, like the Colts and the Patriots and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a weird year for sure. Ravens one and
Mhm.
five. They do get Lamar back this week, I think, right? Possibly.
He was projecting that way anyways. So,
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, I mean, like we said last week, like he's got to go like 9-2 to make this team a playoff team. It's possible. Lamar's pretty fucking good.
oh, is
Uh,
he? I thought I have some receipts here of you saying he's trash.
yeah, well, yeah, but you know how we joke around in the group chat.
Oh,
Fuck off.
okay.
Don't throw
Now
the
it's a
group
joke.
chat receipts out on me on the. Come on, guy. You
Uh,
do this to me while we're.
yeah,
Bravonians don't listen to this guy. You know, I think Lamar is a fantastic fucking athlete and quarterback. I just like to talk shit
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely
for
odd
fantasy
because,
purposes.
like a lot of those pieces are still in place for the Ravens, right? And this is just turned into jokes now. Like they're getting their
Yeah.
video game consoles in the locker room taken away, which by the way, why the fuck do you have a video game console in your locker room?
Yeah, you should be doing that
Um,
at home there, guys.
Ping pong
Yeah.
tables, like everything. Like it's a lounge club apparently, not a locker room, but
Yeah.
yeah, maybe they need to rein this in a little bit because yeah, when you're 1-5 and you're running out of time, there's no time for fun,
To me, it's like when you're 8 and you misbehave and your mom takes away your
right?
yeah, like oh, you can't go outside or you can't go see your friends for the day. You're grounded. Well,
Yeah.
that's you kind of have to ground these these Baltimore Ravens players because yeah, at 1-5, they don't deserve to play video games. They need to be
No.
fucking working.
And I've heard a lot of talk like it's Harbaugh on the hot seat. Like there's no way this guy's on the hot seat after one terrible year. Like,
No,
and the guy's perennial. Like, he's often in the playoffs, and so I don't think there's really much to be worried about. I
no.
think they could go on a run here, but maybe they don't make it in this year. They've played a lot of football over the last few years,
Yep.
but again, we
He's got a
talked about
long
the
leash, I
trade.
think, Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Very long leash there. Yeah.
for sure. We talked about the trade deadline, and you mentioned it last week. I think it was like, do they trade Derrick Henry? And I still don't think that's the move. But I mean, who knows? They could end up being sellers. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. Sure could be. Okay, man. Well, we've held off long enough, but I don't know if I want to try and contain your rage or your ire any longer.
Oh, hold
So,
on, hold on, hold on. I've got one more. Who would have thought for you?
okay, okay, okay.
Because I think it's very like bizarre this year, right? But
Yeah.
who would have thought that Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, I'll even give you one more, even though he's been kind of doing it at a decent level for the last 3 years. Baker Mayfield
Yeah.
would be the most prominent storylines for the respective teams after being cast aside time after time again.
Yeah.
These guys are lighting it up this year.
Yeah. I mean,
Who would
that's
have
it.
thought?
That who would have thought? Not too many people. No, I mean that's it just goes to show you, you put a guy in the right situation. I mean, these guys are all in the NFL for a reason, right? You get drafted for a reason. Obviously, the talent's there. Obviously, the smarts are there.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to have some time to fucking drop back and throw a ball once in a while. If
Right.
you got an offensive line that folds like a cheap like a house of cards or something, then you got no time to wait for your receivers to run their routes. You're going to be terrible. But yeah, it's nice seeing Baker and Darnold and these guys. Yeah, fucking sling it. I like it.
Right.
It gets for me. Like I got so tired about of hearing about the same quarterbacks and you get so sick of hearing about like Mahomes,
Yeah.
and we're not talking about Lamar Jackson as often, and we're not talking about even Josh Allen as
Mm-hmm.
often anymore. The Bills have lost a couple there, so it's kind of nice to hear some fresh blood once in a while, right?
I was just gonna say the same thing, but yet somehow like Mahomes is still the favorite for the MVP, even
Yeah,
though they're
miss me with
like
that shit.
I know, right? But I don't see it either. But it is nice. I feel like we can overplay things sometimes
Yeah,
because when they're doing great things, like you can't discount what they're doing, right?
that's it.
But yeah. So now let's move on.
Yeah,
And
let's jump into your dumpster fire of the week this week, buddy. What do you got for us?
ooh, I've been debating doing these guys for a couple weeks now, just because they just irk
It,
me so much.
it's time.
There's nothing about them that excites me anymore.
No.
And for folks at home, this is the Miami Dolphins. And if you're a Fins fan, I think you probably would agree with this frustration, but they've officially hit rock bottom. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's injuries all over the place. There's a serious lack of leadership, whether that's the coaching staff, the upper management, and more perplexing, an unwillingness to make a change. The ever mediocre Dolphins, just wondering what could have been yet again. You're like what, 1-5, 1-6 now?
Yeah, 1-6, I think now, yeah.
Gross. We
And
got
losing 31-6 to the Cleveland Browns is inexcusable.
yeah,
So
yeah. So we got one flash in the pan season in 1972. They had a perfect season, leads to a Super Bowl, and just like junkies, they've been searching that high ever since. And like, how is it even possible that a team like this, that has the weapons everywhere, can be so bad? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, this has to be the lowest of the low. Like you just said, they just got curb stomped
yeah,
by the Dylan Gabriel led Cleveland Browns. It was a Quinshon Judkins show in that game.
yeah,
Let's just be real. He
yeah,
ran all over them.
yeah.
Their mush brain QB says that he can't see over his linemen. He's calling guys out in the media, then instantly retracting it. Like, what happened to standing on business anymore? Like, and let's be real. I think they already hate Tua. So what's one more comment or two in the media going to do? And then let's just call a spade a spade. Their head coach, like half the time, the guy's not even speaking a coherent sentence. And when he does, you're just like, the hell did this guy just say, anyways? Like, he's not adding anything of substance.
No.
Can't seem to pull this team out of it. Like, there's guys that are constantly late to meetings, apparently. No repercussions for these guys. They're saying that nobody takes practice seriously. And yet the management says, well, we've got full faith in them. Why would we make a change? Well, what has he done to like, you made the playoffs a couple years ago. Great. What does that do for you?
Yeah.
Right? You
Well,
have one.
I was
Sorry,
just
go
going to
ahead.
say their defense is in shambles. Like they've given
Yeah,
up the second most points in the entire AFC. The only team that's given up more is the Cincinnati Bengals defense, which no one's shocked by that.
right.
But yeah, Miami's given up over 200 points already. Just yeah, and they're saying they don't need to make a change at GM or coach.
Like,
What?
pretty perplexing, right?
Yeah,
I think any other fans would be calling for their heads. And I mean, I'm sure the Dolphins fans are calling for their heads,
yeah.
but like, at what point, like, do you actually just say, nah, we don't need to make a change at head coach or GM? Like, excuse me, bitch. It's terrible. Make a decision, right the ship here, because like not even like 2 years ago, this is one of like the most feared defenses in the league.
Excuse me, bitch.
But
Fuck you,
seriously though,
McDonald's on
how
Dorset.
how can you not
But not all the
want to
other
make a
McDonald's. I
change?
like all
I
the
mean,
other McDonald's.
right? Um, but like
Sorry.
it's so bad that you have a star player in Tyreek Hill
Yep.
gets injured And it almost looks like he's half celebrating that he doesn't have to be a part of that dumpster fire anymore.
It did look like that. Yeah.
Right. And it's already basically coming out that they're either going to try and release it. They're basically releasing him in the off season.
Yeah.
So they don't even want to deal with him anymore.
Mm-mm.
And like, again, I feel like the Dolphins peaked in 1972 when they went undefeated.
Yep.
They had the legendary Dan Marino, who threw for 61,000 yards, no rings, even had to endure a kidnapping by this crazy guy named Ray Finkel. And let's be real, there's just no hope in sight.
Someone's confusing reality with Ace Ventura. I've seen that one too many times. I gotta say there.
What do you mean? That was based on real life events.
Laces out, Dan.
Laces out. The laces were out. No, laces were in. Laces were in. But yes,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yes, when you have talent like that, like arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, can't get him a ring because you can't build a team around him. Kind of feels familiar, Matt Stafford. But I think what's funny to me is that the Dolphins have had more logo designs than playoff wins, and with no
Yeah.
hope in sight, being 1-6, the fins up slogan has slowly turned into hopes down.
I love
Miami, I'm
that.
throwing more shade at you than your entire stadium has, and you nasty.
Roast in the dumpster fire of week 7, Miami, because you nasty, not in a good
Oh
way.
man, they are so bad. But
Yeah.
I've said my piece. Is there anything that you want to add to the fire?
I think you've said it all, my guy. That's you know what though. Now that you've done this, Miami's going to go on a heater. They're not going to lose a game for the rest of the year. So
Right? Well, might have to put some lifts in to his shoes so he can see a little better.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
start for sure.
sure. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, man.
I've talked enough about those losers. So
Yeah,
let's talk about some week 8 coming up here. Some of these
do it.
exciting matchups that are going on.
Yeah, we got 16 for the first time of this year, anyway, as far as bye weeks are concerned. We got 6 teams on buys this week, including your Detroit Lions. So
Yep.
not only does it give us fewer things to talk about, but also kind of creates havoc for a lot of people's fantasy teams. A lot of people are
Oh
in
yeah.
bye week hell right now, going into week
Half
8
my
for.
starters were on bye this week.
That's it. Yeah, I'm struggling this week too. Projected to put up like 70 something points in a couple of my pools. And what the fuck is that? So,
Is that
but
unnormal for you? I don't
fuck you.
know.
One thing is for sure, though, we are here. We do not take breaks. We do not take weeks off. There are no bye weeks on the
Mhm.
NFLA. So if you've liked the content so far, please drop a like, comment on your who would have thought. You can comment on the dumpster fire, who you think might have been the dumpster fire this week. Do you agree with Calvo? Drop us a comment after this week's game. Let us know who you think we should be roasting next week in Calvo's dumpster fire or garbage bin on fire next week. So speaking of next week, though, buddy, why don't we highlight a few key matchups? Like you said, week 8. What are we looking forward to?
Well, I think if we can kind of get a similar performance out of the Vikings for the Thursday night game, they're facing the Chargers.
Yeah.
And this team kind of features two teams that are looking to bounce back. Both teams lost last week.
Mhm.
And I feel like it could be a bit of a low scoring affair here, though. There's two strong defenses going at it. Obviously, Carson Wentz has had his struggles in the few games that he started.
Yeah.
Herbert's hit or miss, I find so far. So both teams are going to be looking to establish the run early. So I think, yeah, it's going to be kind of a low scoring affair. But I saw kind of an interesting stat here. Okay.
Yep.
So let me throw this one at you.
Let's hear it.
Apparently, Carson Wentz is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football,
That tracks. Most of those would have been with the Eagles.
but the Vikings are 0-7 over like the last 30, 40 years on Thursday Night Football.
Wow, there you go. Chargers are going to win.
So something has to bend here, right? You got the Carson Wentz who's never lost on Thursday, but a team that never wins on a Thursday.
Yeah, I think
And
the team that never
coincidentally, they're
wins is
both
going
on
to
the
trump.
same.
Yeah. I think that favors that stat kind of favors the team. I think the Vikings are more than just Carson Wentz. So
Well, that's fair.
we'll
That's
see.
fair. But it is in LA, so obviously home field advantage. I mean, I don't even know if there is home field advantage in LA. Does anybody even go to those games?
Probably not. No.
Unless you're playing San Fran, I guess. But
All the San Diego fans come down. It's fine.
yeah, stay
Yeah.
classy, San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be a fairly entertaining Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Vikings might get Aaron Jones back. I haven't heard yet if he's officially active or not. And then yeah, obviously we'll see if Vidal can build on his performance from last week, and Gadsden as well, breakout rookie tight end for the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm really liking what Vidal's been able to do so far with the Chargers. Getting now that he's getting his opportunity again, so it'll be should be a good game to kick off Week 8, and then getting into the Sunday slate, buddy. We got a rematch from a couple weeks ago.
Oh
The
yeah.
Giants coming into Philly now, and if Jackson Dart had no haters before, he's about to find out where they all live.
I'd say,
Yeah,
and especially after the embarrassing, not that the score was necessarily embarrassing, right? But you know, for Philly having such high hopes and
yeah,
kind of brooding around being the uh the, the Super Bowl champs,
yeah.
Giants kind of took it to them,
We
right?
got
And we
humbled.
we
We got
could
humbled for sure.
kind of talked about it, right? These divisional games can go either way,
Yeah.
especially if the team's on the upswing, right? Like it's kind of like that little brother moment, or like when the son finally beats the dad at something, you're like, oh, right? And so we'll see but I'll tell you, man, if the Giants win two against you this year, they're going to be
Yeah.
mayhem in Philly. Some might get destroyed.
I mean, and it's possible, right? Like anything can happen with these division games. Like you said, Giants concern me coming into Philly. I'm not sure what they're going to be capable of, but they just gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter to Denver. So they're going to be reeling coming off that loss. And vibes are good this week in Philly. So we'll see.
Absolutely, vibes are high. But one thing I do know, the exciting whites vibes are higher, and they're going to be coming in with
Hey,
some
we got those
swagger.
too, though. So
Yeah, you got a couple exciting whites.
Blankenship and DeJean, it's exciting whites on defense. Yeah, man, let's go. I can't wait.
Well, one thing we do know, win or lose, Eagles fans will destroy that city.
Not in the regular season. Wait till playoffs.
I don't know, man.
We'll
You guys
torch it
go
then.
0-2 against the Giants, there could be a riot.
Yeah, you know what? That could be cause for revolution for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Well, it should be an exciting game, and I'm looking forward to it. That's definitely one of my favorite games of the week, at least storyline wise.
Yeah. Well,
And
let's
then,
stick with the NFC East, buddy. Let's talk Dallas Cowboys because their offense is fucking firing on all cylinders right now,
yeah,
and they're facing a pretty good defense in Denver right now this week. So Cowboys
yeah,
going into Denver to face the Broncos, and yeah, I mean, so speaking of vibes being high right now, how good must the Broncos feel coming off of that amazing comeback win last weekend?
right. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Like if we think about like even the Commanders game last year against the Bears, right? Getting that last second Hail Mary,
Hmm.
that kind of like sparked the Commanders' trajectory the rest of the way, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
if you're the Broncos, you got to kind of feel a little unstoppable after that. You storm back with like 8 minutes left, putting
Yeah.
up multiple scores, right, to eventually win that game. And you kind of got to be feeling a little bit thirsty when you're seeing how leaky this Dallas Cowboys defense is. But I think if you're the Broncos too, you can't take the Cowboys lightly because they're putting up a ton of points too. So for a team that's 3-3-1,
Well, and like I said, Denver's got a good defense, but their defense has got a couple times this year,
oh yeah,
and you're able to get that defense. So, especially with an offense like Dallas right now, the way
right.
Dak has that Dallas offense clicking, like this game could be like 60-60 going into overtime. Like this game, it has potential to be wild. So I'm
Good.
kind of looking forward to that. Yeah, what else we got to say? Oh, Demarius Thomas.
Yeah,
They enshrined him there after or I guess before the last game against the Giants there. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And emotions are going to be high for a little bit because of that. Demarius Thomas, obviously, rest in peace. Gone too
yeah.
soon.
Legend.
Hell of a great wide receiver for his tenure in Dallas or Denver. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah, he was great.
yeah,
And so anytime you have these kind of big games like this where you're enshrining somebody,
yeah.
emotions are usually pretty high. The team's a little fired up. You just hope that the ceremony doesn't go too long and kills some of that momentum heading into the game. But yeah, should be an interesting game. Cowboys, Broncos.
Are they doing it this week? I thought they did it last week before the Giants game. They're doing it
Uh,
this week?
I thought they were doing it this week, but
Okay. Well,
maybe
then
I
I
am
misspoke.
a week behind.
Well, either way, this week, last week, they're enshrining Demarius Thomas as well. They should. Dude was a fucking stud, number 88 wide receiver for the Broncos for many years, and legend in Denver for sure.
Right. Well, speaking of legends, and even though I don't really like him, to this team, he was everything.
Oh, this would be good.
And the Packers
Yeah.
rolling into Steel City to face Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
Whew.
Obviously, this is a little bit of a mentor and the student situation here.
Yeah.
Packers favored to move on from Rodgers to let Love take the reins.
Hmm.
both have done quite well in their situations here. I mean, obviously Rogers Jets tenure was something to forget about, but Rogers played pretty well so far for the Steelers. I think everyone is probably a little bit pleasantly surprised, even the Steelers, to the fact that they want him back next year.
Unk still getting it done.
Unk's still
But
getting it done,
it's going to
slinging it
be
all over the
interesting
place.
to see how he does against his former team and against a defense in Green Bay that I don't know that they ever really had when Aaron Rodgers was there. Like
No.
that's a stout defense now, and Micah Parsons coming over obviously, so he's going to be looking to sack the former Packers legend. So yeah,
Well, I think what's interesting about this is obviously Rogers knows the Packers quite well,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
he knows their systems in and out. Not much has changed in Packerland over the last 3 years, right? So it's going to be one of these things that yeah, he could either pick them apart or he's just going to get lit up. I don't know if there's going to be any in between.
Well, the matchup I'm looking to see, well, not necessarily matchup, but the what I'm kind of keeping an eye on is Micah Parsons had 3 sacks last week for the
Yeah,
first time in his career. I mean, we talked about Micah Parsons, highest paid non-quarterback in the league. I think he makes like 46 mil, so he's the highest player in the league who's not a quarterback.
yeah,
Highest paid player in the league who's not a quarterback. He's phenomenal. He is fast. Aaron Rodgers is not. So,
right.
uh, could he get 3 more this week? Could he get even more? It's certainly possible. He's going to be easy for him to chase down Aaron Rodgers. He's just going to have to get past that Steelers O line first.
I hope those tackles do some stretches because they're gonna be
Oh yeah.
put to the test for sure.
Oh yeah.
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 So hey, it'd be interesting to see it. Truthfully though, I wouldn't mind seeing Micah light him up a few times.
That'd be
So
great. Just hit him. Just hit
go
him
get
hard.
him.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Okay.
Well,
So,
well,
what's
speaking of
that?
getting hit hard,
Yeah.
do you want to move on to the locks and dogs of the week,
Do
pal?
I? So those are our games that we're keeping an eye on going into week 8. Let's talk locks and dogs, buddy, because you're still perfect. You got a 7-0 record
Woo.
with your locks this week. You took those New England Patriots to win last week. They did
Yep.
just that. Who are you going with this week, my guy?
They see me rolling. They hate it. Well, this week I'm going to take the Chiefs, and as dirty as I feel doing that, I
Yeah.
feel like they've got a pretty favorable matchup facing Mariota and the Commanders.
Oh, I finally climbed over 500 with my locks. I'm
Oh
four
boy,
and three.
proud of you.
Got there last week taking the Bears. So you know what? I'm going to get cocky. I'm going to take my Eagles. I'm going to take my Eagles at home against those Giants. I think they get it done, and I think I'm going to get it done. I'm going to move to 5 and 3. I'm coming.
You know what happened last time you took the Eagles as your lock of the week against the Giants?
Yeah, bad things.
Bad things happen.
Oh fuck.
Oh, sure.
Well, let's talk dogs though, because buddy, you're 2 and 5 now.
Ooh,
You picked
rolling.
it. It was a bit of a layup. Let's be honest. The Colts on the road, they were somehow the underdogs, and they got it done against the Chargers. So you go to 2 and 5 with that pick. Who are you going with this week?
You know what? We just talked about them, and I feel like the mentor is going to get the better of the suit in this game, and I'm going to take the Steelers at home over the Packers. And maybe that's just a little bit of hopeful
Wow,
thinking, seeing a divisional opponent go down. I'm going to speak that into existence. Let's
that's an
go
that's an
Steelers.
interesting pick actually. That's ballsy because Pack coming in. I mean, they could do some damage. So
They
yeah,
could.
Calvo 2 and 5, looking to go to 3 and 5 with the Steelers pick. Oh,
Took a tough one last week, eh,
yeah,
bud?
this blew up. Cleveland dismantled my pick, my dog pick of the week at 31-6. So I was nowhere close to improving on my dog's record. I fall to 5 and 2 because I went with the Dolphins. So this week I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think I
Oof.
like. Call me crazy. I think I like the Cowboys to go in and beat Denver in Denver. I
You're
think that
saying a lot of
offense.
dirty things this week,
I
Bradley.
know. I feel fucking filthy for saying it. I'm gonna have to go shower again.
Who are you?
But that offense right now is fucking terrifying in Dallas right now, and I think they'll go into Denver and knock them down a peg. So
Do you know what makes me like even more happy? Is that your dog of the week was the dumpster fire of the week.
go big or go home, and I
Go,
fucking
go, pick.
I shrewded
Uh,
that one big time.
sure did. Sure did.
Yeah.
Well, Bravonians, let us know who your locks and dogs of the week are. Drop a like and a comment down below. And please, please share this around. I think this about does it for this week. I don't know if I really have much to talk about unless you do.
No, let's cap it here and let's go enjoy the we are recording on Thursday, so let's go enjoy the Thursday nighter.
Sure.
And don't forget to follow us on social media, all you Bravonians out there who do uh find it in your hearts to join us every week. Follow us on social medias. We've got our socials up and running now, so you can find us at the NFLA on Facebook and on Instagram. Keep an eye out. We've got the Bravo Awards coming up. If you're not familiar, if you didn't listen to us the first couple years, we do an awards show mid-season called the Bravos. Brooksee, Calvo, Bravo. There you go. So the
Mhm.
Bravo Awards coming up, the third annual. That's in 2 weeks from now after week 9. Yeah, keep an eye for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But again, tune in every week. We have a lot of fun things to talk about. Football
Abs-
is it never stops being fun, dude.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about socials, if you like the intro and outro song, it's actually by my band Synopsis. I'm rocking the hat right now.
There we
I
go.
play bass there, and you can find our social media page at synopsis.band with 2 Ds. Um, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. So look us up. We've got an album out on Spotify as well, our old album. Hopefully, some new music coming soon. But
Least,
if you
oh, I was gonna say least talented member of any band is the bass player, and that's Calvo, obviously in his band. He plays bass, but so that's why he's got to do the pod. He's got to supplement with
absolutely,
talking shit, football, and he's got a bunch
yeah,
of things in the works. But yeah,
jack
synopsis.
of all trades, master of none.
To be honest, Bravonians, I have listened to Synopsis many times. Calvo subjected me to them. No, they played
Force
several.
my will upon you.
I've seen them play a ton of shows. They're fantastic, supremely talented. You and Jeff and Alex and Chris just put on a hell of a show. You guys, you sound tight, and so you've been gracious enough to grant us with our intro and outro music for this pod, and I fucking love it. So yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing, and
I appreciate that, brother.
yeah, man. And
Thank you so
anything
much.
else you want to say?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say if you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Your support means a lot to us. It's
Yeah,
greatly appreciated. And I will say we have noticed that the views are kind of growing on each video as
love
as
it.
we've started on YouTube. And it's always a little nerve-wracking when you move over here, especially when we went from a platform where we got multiple listens every week. And maybe this falls on us a little bit for not pumping the socials a little bit more to let you know we're moving, but we
Yeah.
hope it's catching on. So again, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel so you know when every new video is coming out. And if you don't mind, just give us a quick share and tell your friends about it. Um, we love doing this. So
The likes and the views are there. We need more comments. Give us shit to debate for future episodes.
absolutely.
Give us your takes on some of the things that we're saying. Give us your takes on who's the dumpster fire, who would have thought, who your locks and dogs, all that shit.
Yeah,
Comment to
that
us.
Brooksy
We
guy
want
is really shitty.
exactly. I
Yeah.
want to hear it because I want to reply to you next week. So anyway, that'll do it for us this week. This has been the NFLA season 3, episode 8 for Calvo. I'm Brooksy. Have a great night.